Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth, and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. And welcome to this week's Krypton review. You're going to see me holding up a bit of paper because I've written things down, people's names that I always forget. I'm useless with names, so that's why you're going to see this bit of paper now and again. And one more thing. I wish I looked like Cameron Cuff after he has a shave. My God, does that lad look amazing. But seriously speaking, Cam is just such an impressive young actor. Not just a young actor, but a person. His parents must be really proud of him because the way he conducts himself on social media, the way he conducts himself to the media, he talks about his love for Superman. I read an article out where he's talking about how Superman is better than Batman on one of my editions of the DCEU Daily. He really is impressive, and this week's episode of Krypton is his greatest performance yet. I love the flashback at the beginning, and you don't really know what they're going with it, but it's all about, Seg putting together that actually Leiter was reconditioned, and you can see the tears in his eyes. It's heartbreaking to see what Zod's done. I mean, it's not a shock if you've been watching this show since the beginning of this current season. It was pretty obvious. There's no way Leiter would have got along with Zod without being reconditioned. But even though we kind of knew that, it was very compelling and very emotional, mostly because of the way Cam played it. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really, really enjoyed it. And you had a great scene this week as well. I've got my bit of paper here. Between Dev and Leiter's mother. I forgot her name. Didn't write it down. That's what happens. But I love that actor, actually. I think she's great. But yeah, Dev and Leiter's mum was a great scene. There's another kind of flashback about how he gets betrayed and how he has to go and see Leiter just to look her in the face and see if there's any hope for her. And as far as he's concerned, there's not. So that was very emotional as well. But Jack Sir had a brilliant arc, and the actor playing Jack Sir is absolutely phenomenal. She's great. I know a few people weren't happy because Jack Sir was being played by a woman, but I'll tell you what, you're not going to find a male actor as good as this lady is. She's so good. She's so amazing, and there was this subplot where she got one of the soldiers, the female soldiers, to kind of blow up all the Sagittari if it all goes wrong. It all goes wrong. There's no oxygen. They all die. But, of course, Leiter grasses Jack Sir up while she's running off with the Codex. Now, what would have been great in that scene, but, of course, you've got to amp up the drama, so you're not going to do it. But it would have been great if a Sega turned up with their kid. I still want one of you to answer me this in the comments, and I've asked you guys before. Is that baby, is that meant to be Jor-El? I know he hasn't got that name, but is that meant to be Jor-El? Maybe someone can tell me this because that's a bit of confusion. The scenes between Cameron Cuff and Colin Salmon were amazing. Colin is an experienced actor, so classy, so amazing. He's no villain in real life, but I tell you what, he's playing this part brilliantly, singing it on a level because this guy really believes he saved Krypton. He really believes he's doing the right thing. He's not a moustache-twirling villain, even though he's got a moustache and a beard, a kind of goatee, if you like. But he's a great version of Zod, and his casting was more genius. So, really good. And the reconditioning scene, of course, was, I think, my favourite. I think it was very interesting to see Seg without the beard. It kind of changed him. There was some kind of difference to how Seg was being after that. Maybe that's just my imagination. But there were some great scenes. The compelling scene for me is when they try and recondition Seg. And you actually realise that Brainiac is not dead. Yeah, the body's gone, but he's still up there. He's still up there. So basically, Seg and Brainiac are still sharing a few brain cells. You can't kill off a great character like that. It would be sacrilege to every comic book fan, and they were never going to do that. So they couldn't recondition Seg, thankfully. I didn't want Seg to be reconditioned, and even if he was going to be obedient to Zod for a couple of episodes, that kind of would have annoyed me. So I'm glad they found a way to get him out of it. But that whole scene was absolutely amazing. I think this is one of the most strongest episodes of Krypton I've ever seen. And of course, the last thing, because Kem, another character I absolutely like, and Adam Strange and the soldiers, they're underground, and then they're ambushed by the Sagittari, led by Lyta, and so they go, what's going on? The end of the war. Yeah, right, we're going to see what happens there. I don't know how they're going to play that out. And of course, there's so much more to come, as Cam Cuff keeps on telling us, and everyone on the show. I really love the live tweeting they do, but unfortunately, the hours are so different where I am. Of course, it's night time there, but it's early night time when they're putting on. We're fast asleep. It's 3 or 4 in the morning, which is a shame, really, because I'd love to get involved with that. But a really great episode. I think it's one of the strongest yet. I didn't expect it to be as good as it was this week. I thought we might get a filler. You don't really get fillers of Krypton. It's just amazing. But it's a great show, and I feel this emotional connectivity to it, like I did back in the Smallville days. It's just great. This is a Superman-themed show. Without Superman, there's no Krypton TV show. Without Man of Steel, there's no, the work that David S. Goyer did with Man of Steel. Without that, you don't get this TV show, which is just great. And it just shows that not only is Man of Steel a great Superman movie, it's actually given us this great Superman-themed TV show. Superman may not be in this, but his grandfather is, and that is absolutely awesome. So I want you to comment down below and let me know what you thought of this week's Krypton. I'm very happy with the show. I'm excited about it going forward, and I'm excited for what's to come, because from what I hear, it's going to be damn awesome. Bring on Doomsday!